Yeah.
Yeah, welcome in everyone to episode number 72 of Talking Kentucky. My name is Coleman Scott. His name is Caden Holmes, and you might notice we have a little bit of a different look going on. And if you mean a little bit, I mean a lot of bit, right? Because
Talking
we've
Kentucky
got
Premium.
Talking Kentucky Premium, talking premium. Everything's going here, and there's a lot to talk about with what's going on our screen here. So Josh Hart says, "What's up, guys?" And he goes, "That was cool," and it was cool, Caden.
Yeah,
He's talking about our intro video because we've got the gray platinum background going on, Caden.
Shiny.
It's gradient, yes. So it's also great.
No pun intended.
No, yeah, no pun intended. And then we've got our rock music with the countdown, which is much better than the generic StreamYard countdown, in my opinion. So I think that's way better. And we got a lot of stuff going on. Josh will be in and out as he's door dashing. That's okay, Josh. Glad that you're here. We need Clyde Hare in here though. Where's Clyde at? Are we gonna have to text him again, Caden? We have to text Clyde Hare, get him in here.
Well, we said in the group chat that we're having a show tonight, and we really hyped it up. So you think he'd be here?
Oh, you think he'd be here? Yeah, he's slacking tonight. So yeah. So Caden and I are stepping up our game this week. If you're listening back on podcast, you can't tell because it's just audio only. But if you're watching live, we've got the fancy overlay going here. We got a Talkin Kentucky up here. We've got these fancy blue and white lines going on, Caden. We've got our social
new background pictures,
which we're going to get into in a minute. We've got our social icons down here at the bottom, and guys, for the first time ever, not only are we streaming live on Facebook, we're also streaming live on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and we're also streaming live on Twitter. So, Caden, I mean, we're just stepping up our game in every area right now. I mean, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and we got this fancy overlay. We got the rock music. We just got everything going on right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, something also to add to the YouTube part. I'm almost like 100% sure that if you're a subscriber on YouTube, you'll get the notification that we go live. So
yeah,
I know Facebook doesn't always tell you we're going live, but just subscribe to us on YouTube and you can watch us there. And also a funny story about the whole 5-star thing down there. Coleman and I were up to 2 a.m. the other night working on all this.
Yeah, we were. Indeed. No shame.
And I'm like, he pulls us up and he's like, "Caden, what do you think about this?" I said, "Coleman, it's really cool, but what's up with the 5 stars down there?" Yeah, I thought it was a little weird. He's like, "Oh, that just means you can go rate us 5 stars." I'm like, "Okay, I like that idea actually." So if you're watching this, you see the 5 stars, just go rate us 5 stars. It's not gonna.
That's what it means.
Not gonna kill you. I mean, I think it's a 5-star show. What do you think?
Oh, it absolutely is a 5-star show. And even if you don't think it is a 5-star show, just rate us 5 stars anyway, because what's it going to hurt you? Is my thing. Yeah, we're very excited. We got our new stuff going on here. There's a lot of UK stuff to get into. Okay, there's a lot of football stuff and a lot of basketball stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's happened that we can get into, and we're going to get into all that for sure. But we have to talk about the Talkin Kentucky stuff first because we got a lot of new stuff going on. So we got all this. We're stepping up our game. Okay, we coming like Deion Sanders. That's what we're doing here tonight.
We're hopefully not going to lose as Talkin Kentucky, but
no, we're not. Because we make adjustments here on Talkin Kentucky. We got
Yazin. Is it Yazin? Is it
Yazin? It's either Yazin or Yazin. Yeah, we got
the cats chant. C A
T S. Cats is all we need now.
In the comment section confirming the height of Big Z. So
okay,
we got
7'2". Yeah, we've got it all here happening here. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
Not to get Yazin or Yazin like mixed up with Naveen.
Yes. Of course, yeah. Naveen, we don't like Naveen.
Our show a month back.
Yeah, we don't like Naveen. We like Yazin. We don't We don't like
This is
Naveen.
a real person, I think. So
He is a real person, allegedly. I mean, I don't think somebody that's not real probably wouldn't say the cats cats in the comments. I wouldn't think, but anyway. So as we said, stepping up our game, streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Got these fancy overlays, and guys, guess what we're gonna be doing now? We're gonna put out more content now. We're not only our episodes and post games. We're gonna start doing,
what,
as we
what
said
do they
earlier,
call it? Content creators? Is that
content.
us?
We're influencers,
Oh
guys. Yeah, I
God,
mean,
no, uh,
we're talking influencers.
no,
Um.
no, that ain't me. But
Okay.
no,
Well,
I'll
I
go with
mean,
content creator.
okay, content creators. So, well, that that could go down a dark path, too. Uh, but anyway,
The
um,
I word and the P word platform. That's the words that make me a little nervous.
yeah. What's the I word? Oh, influencer.
Influencer,
Okay,
yeah.
influencer and yes, that's exactly right. So, um, we are going to start doing. Well, Big Blue Manus is tomorrow. We're going to start doing these videos that are it's going to be a new series that we're going to do on Facebook, and we're going to upload to our YouTube channel, which everybody needs to know that too. You got to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's very important that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, because we're going to start using it even more. We're going to be doing these TK's take videos. Okay, so like as basketball season starts, we're not going to do a post game for every single show. We'll do a post game for like the big games. We'll do one for like Kansas. We'll do a post game show for like North Carolina, like the Gonzaga, St. Peter's, the big games. We'll we'll,
Miami.
we'll do Miami. That's when.
That was a joke.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
we
that
can
that
do for Miami.
yes. So
Miami, that
so
was supposed to be Duke.
so we're gonna do post games for those big games and Miami. But for these other small games, when we're playing like Stonehill and Clear Creek Bible College and some of these small schools, we're
Duquesne.
gonna do, yeah, Duquesne. We're gonna put up these little videos afterwards. They're gonna be like 10
Duxney.
minutes or less. Yeah, Duxney.
Sorry.
we're gonna do these little TKs take videos and put them up, and they're just gonna be little rapid reactions, basically, from me and Caden about what we saw. And so they'll be available like immediately after the game. And so our first one that we're gonna do is tomorrow night. Okay, we're gonna do a TK's take Big Blue Manus edition. So right after Big Blue Manus, look out on our YouTube page and here on Facebook for our very first TK's take video. So that's something I want everybody to be on the lookout for. Okay, for basketball season
We're not going
is
live, right?
TK's take.
We're just gonna
We're not going live. No,
post it.
they're going to be pre-recorded, but we're going to have a fancy overlay, and we're going to look, and Caden and I's face is going to be really close to the screen and everything, and it's just going to be a grand time. So everybody be on the lookout for those TK's take videos in addition to our regular show and in addition to our post game show. So that's going to be a thing. So Caden, I'm excited about it too. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I am too. And we made you made a new overlay for that too. That looks pretty sharp. So I'm
Oh,
looking
we
forward
do.
to that.
Yeah,
But there's
not
so
shade
much
and sharp.
more.
Doesn't look
Yeah,
shade and sharp. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I thought we'd finally get through an episode without that name, but
Oh, there's
there we
never.
go again.
No.
Episode number what? 72. But
Yeah.
oh, hey, what's up, Brad?
What's up, Brad? How's
And
it going?
Cody.
Welcome to our new and improved show. Josh Hart says we're going to be bigger and better in KSR. Well, I mean, according to Josh Hart, we already are bigger and better in KSR. So, I mean, I don't even think we need to to do that. So, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going. But as you said, Caden, that's not all. We got more stuff happening, right?
A lot more.
Well, elaborate.
Well, we got our first merch order, so that's pretty exciting.
We did,
and
yeah.
We're kind of figuring out that process, and it looks to be like it's going pretty smoothly. So, I want to make a comment. There's something else regarding membership and like stuff with our Patreon we're going to get to, but
yes.
I just want to make a comment our merch, we are not charging near as much as we could be and what's suggested because we don't believe in ripping our fans off, right?
Because go Cats, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like, yes, we're
yeah,
making some money off of it, but we're literally doing it just because we enjoy this and we really like the stuff that we made, and we hope you all do too. So, just wanna
yeah.
throw that out there.
Just want to throw that out there. So, yeah. So let's see. What should we get into now, Caden? Let's see. We talked about our TK's take videos. We talked about our overlays. We talked about the fact that we're starting to stream on multiple platforms now. What else? What else we doing here? We're in eight. We're
Our
supposed
pa
to be more HD, right? Like we're supposed to. Our
It looks a
cameras.
lot better, I think, like the
I think
backgrounds and everything.
our cameras are supposed to be better now or something. I don't know if they actually are. I don't know if we're any prettier than we were, or if we'll have girlfriends after this. But anyway,
That's a
um,
negative, but
yeah, that's negative. So uh, let's talk about our backgrounds really quick before we get into the Patreon stuff here. We got two restaurants going on for our backgrounds tonight. And Caden kind of started this trend on our last show of wanting to do a different background from a different place in Kentucky every episode, which I kind of like. I like when organic sort of traditions come up on the show. So maybe this can be one of those. Caden, why don't you tell us about your old background there first? Where in Kentucky's that?
yeah, I thought I'd start with Western Kentucky places just because that's where I live and that's where I grew up.
Of
So I
course.
don't know if anyone I know Cody has been here and I know Coleman has also been here, but I don't know if you can see Patty's 1880 settlement.
Heck
So
yeah.
if you haven't been here, you need to check it out. It's in far Western Kentucky and they have like I mean, they have this is what you need to get when you go here. You get the 2-inch pork chop.
Yeah,
Don't get
two
the 1
incher.
inch. Get
No,
the 2-inch because
the
you
two
don't want it
inch.
dry, and
That's
it's
right.
so much better. So get the pork chop, get the baked potato.
Yeah.
It's just a neat place. You can walk around. They got shops. They got moonshine tastings and everything. So check out Patty's 1880 settlement. It's about an hour and a half from me, I think. Cody might be able to correct me, but
There we go. Patties.
it's incredible. It's an incredible environment, like atmosphere too. I know it burned down a few years back, but I think they recreated it better than ever. So check it out.
Hey, Clyde had a pork chop the other night.
Was it 2 inches, Clyde?
That's what she said.
It's not a question.
Yes.
It's not a question I thought
uh,
I'd ask tonight.
so,
2 inches,
um,
Clyde. But
uh,
anyways,
so
what's your
anyway,
background, Coleman?
my background is another restaurant here. It's Wallace Station, which is also goaded. And we're here on this is Old Frankfort Pike, which is the best way to go to Lexington from Frankfort is Old Frankfort Pike. It's the most scenic route, you know. And Wallace Station is it's just right off the side of the road there. I think it's an old train station, and they have great fried chicken. They have great just southern cooking food, and they've got a bunch of picnic tables out back. It's real scenic, surrounded by horse farms. It's all the Kentucky that you could ever want. So yeah, that's that Wallace Station. So if you're ever in the Lexington, Frankfort area, you need to check out Wallace Station. So
So what do you get whenever you go there?
oh, well, they have a sandwich there. It's called like the Triple Crown, and it's like turkey and ham and like barbecue sauce and like some other stuff, and it's like three layers. They've got the two pieces of bread, but they got another piece of bread in the middle. It's one of those triple decker sandwiches, hence the name Triple Crown. Getting the horse theme in there, so that's probably the most goaded thing that I've got there. You got to get the sweet tea. Got to get that stuff going on there. So that's probably, yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Sweet tea is like if you're a restaurant in Kentucky, especially a local restaurant, you got to have good sweet tea.
You do. Is there
Bare
any
minimum.
is there any tea that's too sweet though? Because I feel like, for example, Canes, I feel like their sweet tea is way too sweet, in
It's
my
got to
opinion.
be strong and sweet. The sweeter it is, the stronger it's got to be, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion.
Lisa Marie Scott says shrimp and grits at dinner. I didn't know that shrimp and grits was a Wallace Station staple, but apparently it is. So that's another one you got to get. Josh Hart says McDonald's sweet tea is too sweet. I would
That's
probably also
tastes
agree with
good though.
that.
Too sweet though.
You got to get that. You got to get that half and half. So yeah. Anyway, so we'll why don't we talk about this Patreon stuff? Caden, do you wanna get into some of that? I forget what we've done so much work on the show this week that I don't even remember what all we've done. We're getting so much better that I don't even remember how to explain how much better we're getting. So, like, Caden, you wanna take that?
Yeah, so we added so first off, blue tier was the only one we had, right?
Blue tier was it was the Talkin Kentucky supporter is what it was previously called. So the blue tier was the tier that already existed if you're a Talking Kentucky supporter. So you get the shout out on the show, general support, which means that you're just giving us money, and then you got a mug and a sticker in the mail. So everybody remembers that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Coleman added first off, added a white tier. And you don't like you still get the episode shout out and everything. But if you just want to support us, you don't really care about the merch, it's just $1 a month. So
$1 a month, folks.
one
You can support us for $1 a month.
$1. And you know,
$1.
We appreciate we appreciate that. That's worth a shout out, I'd say, right, Coleman?
Yeah, $1. We'll give we will mention your name and talk about you on the podcast. And for $1, I mean, Caden, I feel like that's a pretty good deal. I mean, that's a steal if you ask me.
Yeah, I think so too. But
Can
the
you
big
imagine the
one,
publicity you get that with that? I mean,
seriously,
that's
talking
yeah,
Kentucky. Yeah.
yeah. So
Um, but the big one we added, the Wildcat tier. I mean, this
mhm.
if you do this, look at all
Yeah,
this. General
we should
support, episode shout out. You can even become a guest, Coleman. A
we should
guest
have called
on
it the
our great
goaded tier.
that's
It
what it
should
is.
it is the goaded tier. Yeah, so yeah. This is it's $25 a month. And listen to that. You get it. Not only you get an episode shout out, you get to be on an if you are a member of the Wildcat tier, if you give us $25 a month, we will have you as a guest on the show, on the screen with us for a whole episode. I mean, the kid, and that is like, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, how
Yeah.
much better does it
You
get than
think
you get to
KSR
be
would do
on
that?
the show? Heck no. You could give like $1,000 a month and Matt Jones still wouldn't have you on the show. So you give us $25 a month.
Look at
We
this.
will have you. We
Behind the
will
scenes
bring you
content. You can see like what we
behind the
do to get
scenes.
this going. Like I think it's a big
Yes.
deal. And not only that, you get everything from the previous tier, the sticker and the mug, but you also get a really cool gray long sleeve Talking Kentucky sweatshirt that we designed.
Yeah.
So
Who doesn't want it?
it's everything
Yeah.
for Wildcat tier. And Coleman, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but if I was looking at this, I'd be thinking, oh, okay, I'll do 3 months of $25 a month. I get to go on the show, and then there's nothing wrong with changing tiers if you want to.
Yeah. It says
Like
3 months.
you don't have to stay here for the rest of your life. So
No, you
I'm just throwing
don't.
that out there.
Yeah,
This
you
isn't
get the
a
merch after
contract.
you get to be on the show after 1 month. So if you just sign
Yeah,
up for the Wildcat tier, we will have you on the show.
right.
If you sign up for the Wildcat tier, and if you stay with it for 3 months, that's when Patreon sends you the merch. So that's when you get the mug and the sticker if you haven't already gotten it, and then the long sleeve shirt as well.
Yeah, so I would do it for
So,
3 months if I were you all, just to get all
yeah.
that stuff. But yeah,
So
those are our tiers. So that's another thing we've been working on this week. So that's pretty exciting stuff.
so update to our Patreon there. So
Right.
so basically, we're just the best podcast ever. And so yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Madisonville says greatest town on earth on the sign. And,
Yep.
greatest
And
podcast on earth. So
the greatest podcast on earth. That's what I feel like we
is
need
that
to
our slogan?
Photoshop. Yeah, the greatest podcast, like Barnum and Bailey Circus. Uh, yeah, that's right. So,
Wait, what did you just say? What circus?
the Barnum and Bailey's Circus is the greatest show on earth. Don't you know the Barnum and
Am I
Bailey,
supposed to know?
the
Am I supposed to know
circus?
what that is?
I I guess not. I mean, yes, you should.
Do our viewers know what that is?
I mean, you don't know what the red zone is either. So,
Well, I still don't. That's another thing.
well, yes, it is, and we'll get into all that. We'll go, we'll get into the football stuff, but let's talk about some
You just
holidays
don't want to
here.
say it.
Enough about us. Enough about us. Let's literally do what the name of our show is here, Talkin Kentucky. Let's talk to some Kentucky. And actually, we're not even going to talk Kentucky because we're going to talk holidays first, as we usually do, kicking off our episodes. We got 8 people watching right now. We're getting our numbers up, Caden. 8 whole people watching.
Coming from our YouTube, you think?
Yeah, it probably is. So, if you're here, let us know you're here. Make a comment. When we'll throw it up on the screen. Let us know you're here if you're watching.
And tell us what you're watching it on too, just so we know.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what, Caden? You see, if I were to throw up this comment up here from Clyde Harris saying McDonald's sweet tea is the best. See how it has a little Facebook emblem down there?
Oh, nice.
You know what's cool?
So no comments yet from YouTube.
If it's coming from YouTube, it'll have a YouTube logo. And if it's coming from Twitter, it'll have a Twitter logo. I know Twitter is called X, but I don't care. So yeah. But anyway, it's National Farmers Day. So shout out to farmers. If we didn't have farmers, I don't think we would be able to live. So I think that farmers are pretty important, Caden.
Accurate.
It's National Free Thought Day. The ability to form rational thoughts is one of the defining traits of being human.
I thought you were going to say free throw day.
No, Free Thought Day. National Free Throw Day will be later in the year when we talk about our inability to hit free throws. But hopefully, Caden's old gym teacher from Madisonville can help us figure that out. It's National Pulled Pork Day. I know we got Cody Peevler on with us, Caden, and he probably knows a thing or two about pulled pork, I would say, doesn't he?
He knows everything about pulled pork. He's got a recipe for everything.
We need to have Cody on the show again, and he needs to tell us some recipes. He needs to get on here, and he needs to. We should do a Talkin cooking show. Can you imagine the 3 of us in a kitchen, like on the Today Show or on the Food Network, like on StreamYard?
Something tells me me and you would be a lot worse than Cody.
Oh, there's no doubt, but that's why it would be entertaining. That's
especially if it was a grilling show.
Yes, talking grilling. It's National Savings Day. There are lots easier ways to save in order to bring your dreams within reach. So be Dave Ramsey and save. It's National Vermont Day. Caden, haven't we played Vermont in basketball like a lot? I feel like we play Vermont a lot in the regular season in Kentucky basketball. They're like they're green.
Aren't they always?
Because
oh, I thought they were blue, but I think that's Delaware, isn't it? I think you're right.
Yeah, Delaware's the Blue Hens. Yeah,
aren't they always like a 15 seed? Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont's like all-time 15 seed. Yeah. We should know a thing or two about 15 seeds on this podcast. Yeah, but it's World Arthritis Day. That doesn't sound like a great holiday. I don't think I want to celebrate that. Yeah, that might round out all these. It's Kirk Cameron's birthday, but I don't really. That's not significant to me.
I don't know who that is. Clyde says he would school us in an egg contest. So
what kind of egg contest? Are we talking scrambled? Are we talking hard boiled? Are we talking poached? What's your favorite kind of eggs, Caden?
Probably scrambled.
See, I'd have to go with over easy.
I'm not too picky though.
Eggs are eggs, and Georgia's Georgia.
Georgia's Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah. But as we said, that there's a lot of UK stuff to get into. A lot has happened. So it's like, where do we start? Why don't we start with this? Caden is the new. I think I can confidently say, is the new football expert on Talkin Kentucky. So I'm going to go ahead.
Coleman.
Somebody's got to be. I mean, somebody's got to be. I mean, all of us were wrong about the Georgia game, and Caden was right. So I think that makes him the football expert, and I just wanted to give Caden I wanted to give him the floor because I feel like he's earned the right after all the crap that we gave him, saying we were going to beat Georgia, and then we proceeded to get absolutely destroyed by Georgia. So, um, Caden, I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and give you the floor here. Just anything you want to say about the Georgia game, or about Kentucky football, or really about football in general. Just you can go for it.
Well, first off, I'm not an expert at football, but with that being said, I could watch us playing Vandy. I could watch us playing Florida, and it didn't matter how much we won by. Everyone's freaking out how we're gonna go 12-0 or whatever. But Coleman, the wins just didn't seem easy to me. Even though we
And you would be
maybe the
correct.
score said otherwise sometimes.
Yes.
I I don't think it seemed like easy wins, and I wasn't ready to say that we were better than Georgia. I don't care if we're 5-0 playing Georgia. I don't care if we're 11-0 and then we play Georgia. I don't think our results said that we were going to beat Georgia. So that was my prediction. And when I said that, I felt like a lot of people may have been a little offended. This is all in good fun. I'm not calling anyone out in particular.
Yes.
It's just sports. It's just football. But
It's just Robert.
I was just that's another thing. Um, but anyways, I was just being honest. I was just being realistic. And I said, we're not going to beat Georgia. I want us to beat Georgia, but Georgia's Georgia, and they just have guys that we don't. They're
There's
bigger, they're
there's
faster, they're stronger. They're getting all these 5 stars every single year, and we're not going to beat Georgia. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I was right about everything and everyone else was wrong just because we got beat by 40, and I did not see that coming. I thought we'd put up a good fight like we usually do against Georgia. But
Yep.
but then after the
That didn't
fact,
happen.
this no, that didn't happen at all. After the fact, it's like people were upset that I was right about it. I wasn't happy that I was right about it, but I was just being realistic. So, still not a football expert, but I feel like I know what a good football team is. I know the general rules and everything. Maybe I don't know what a go route is, Coleman. Other people
Yeah.
do, but
Yeah.
I feel like I know what a good football team is without knowing that knowledge. That's
Yes.
all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, uh, go Cats, I guess.
But
And
Missouri
and
on
Caden,
Saturday,
yeah, yeah. Anyway, so
which my prediction is still we're gonna
well,
lose. But
going into the game. So we were watching the game, and Caden, after in that first drive when Georgia scored a touchdown in the first 10 seconds of the game, Caden says, "Yep, that's about what I expected."
they
And I
just made it
knew,
look effortless. They got a first
Caden,
down every single time.
I'm not kidding you. I knew in the first 10 seconds of that game that we were losing. I mean, like, there's no doubt about it. I
Just like we
think
knew within 10 seconds Antonio Reeves was our best player last year.
exactly. I mean, which when you know, and I think that was really the case. Is that game was over from the start there. So Caden, uh, I mean, deep down inside, I really didn't think we were going to win the game. Um, but even though I said we were going to win, and then you were public about us not winning the game or thinking that we weren't going to win the game. But did you think we were actually going to get blown out like we did? Did that surprise you?
It did. Think I said 26-14, and honestly, for me, that was being a little optimistic. I kinda thought maybe a 20-point loss, not a 40-point loss. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Roxanne Holmes says talking realistic, and that's all I was being, really. It's not that I'm a downer on UK football. I want us to do well, and I think we've done better with Stoops as we ever have, but we're still not there yet.
Yeah, right. So it's a disappointing game, but a win is a win, and a loss is a loss, and it doesn't count as 4 losses. It counts as 1 loss. So we're 5-1, and we're honestly right where I thought we would be at this point in the season, where a lot of people thought we would be. If your only loss is at the number 1 team of the country, then you can cut yourself a little bit of slack there. But that brings us to this Missouri game. And this Missouri game is really, really, really important. And let's talk about why. Okay. Missouri is this week. You can make an argument that it is the easiest game left on our schedule.
That's a problem.
If you lose this game, the bye week is next week. Right? So we have the hangover of losing 2 in a row and wondering, are we going to win another game the rest of this season? What even is this team? Things could start falling apart. The week after the bye week is Tennessee, and we know how that goes.
Problem.
Then after Tennessee, we go to Starkville, we go to Mississippi State, where we haven't won in over 10 years. I know they're not very good, but still, at Starkville, we don't play football well there. And then after that, so you could lose all those games. You could lose Missouri. You could lose to Tennessee, certainly. And you could lose in Starkville.
5-4 is what that would be.
Then after Starkville, guess what? You come home, you play Alabama. That is very much a possibility that could be a loss. Then after that, you go to South Carolina, who beat you last year. South Carolina's a tough place to play. And then you go to undefeated Louisville, who just knocked off Notre Dame, who I know it's Louisville, but I mean, they could still beat you. So, Caden, if you lose to Missouri, especially with team morale and everything, there's a real possibility that you don't win a game for the rest of the season. Now, would that be kind of crazy if that happened? Yeah. But is it insane that it could happen? Is it not realistic? Speaking of realistic, no. I mean, that is a distinct possibility. I mean, it's not crazy to say that could happen.
It could be anywhere from 5-7 to 10-2, honestly.
It could. I mean, we could go win out. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we won out, to be honest with you. I mean, I would be a little bit. I'd be surprised if we didn't lose at least one game. But so I think you're right, Caden. Probably 10-2 is probably rationally the best that we could do. But even though technically 11-1 is the best we could do, I think rationally probably 10-2, or we could be 5-7.
I'm kind of thinking 8-4, but with you saying all this, I could almost see 7-5.
Yeah, I mean it's not crazy at all. So then we get into the other side of the importance of this game, and that's related to Mark Stoops' comments this week, saying that on his radio show that, well, it's legal to buy players now, and Georgia's bought some pretty good ones. So if you want to compete with Georgia, you better pony up. Now, Caden, I was shocked when I first saw that he said that, or saw reports about that. I thought it was made up. I was like, "There's no way Mark Stoops said that." I could see Cal saying something like that, but I was like, "There's no way Mark Stoops said that." Well, he did. And then you got to think, well, I wonder if it was taken out of context. It wasn't. That's verbatim what he said. And Caden, I feel like as a coach, you can't say that, even if our NIL is like not really sufficient to compete with teams like Georgia on the NIL front. Like, that might be true. We might not have as much money as we would like in the NIL funds, but you can't say that after you go get destroyed by Georgia. Like, you can't go lay an egg and then tell the fans to pony up 2 days later. So
Yeah, I was talking to Cody the other day, and I was thinking about this, and I feel like, in basketball, it, it's important to have really good players, but in March Madness, as we've seen, anything can happen. One dude could go off and score like 50 and beat you, even though you
Hmm.
have the best players in the country. But with football, I feel like you really, you really need those guys because there's only 12 games. I feel like it's a lot more revealing if you don't have those guys in football because you usually can't just rely on one single player in football. And I feel like
Right.
defense is way more important in football as well. So I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, I feel like that's a poor excuse of getting beat by 40 to Georgia. Whenever in the past we put up a much better fight when Georgia was probably even better. So
Yeah.
I understand what he's saying, and number one, you can't say that, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of a cop out.
Yeah. It absolutely is. And so if you win this weekend, everybody sort of forgets better, right? If you win, it like doesn't matter. But if you lose, you know what everybody's going to be saying, Caden. What do we need to pony up to beat Missouri? Now we need to give you more money so you can beat Missouri. That's going to be all over social media. It is if we. So, and that's the other thing. So you have that going into the bye week. You get Tennessee on the other side of the bye week. Then you go to Mississippi State. Then you got Alabama, and it just snowballs from there. So it's that much even more important that we win this game this weekend. So, and the reason it worries me, Caden, is historically we have been really terrible coming off losses, especially losses to Georgia. I don't know that we have ever won a game following Georgia. It feels like I feel like we always lose two in the row when we play / lose to Georgia. So, big game this weekend. So we've got to we can't let one loss turn into two. So
And lots of stuff this weekend, right? Isn't there Big Blue Madness and there's the
there's
Georgia
a
game
lot of
that already
stuff.
happened, the Missouri game, and then
Missouri
there's
game.
blue white scrimmage, right? So
I think the blue white. It's either this Saturday or next Saturday. I think I heard it's this Saturday. Is the blue white
yeah, I
stream?
didn't
So
see
the
for sure. I heard someone make that comment. So
the blue white game is going to be at NKU, Northern Kentucky University, which I actually think that's kind of cool. If you remember last year, Ken, they did it in Eastern Kentucky at that arena. The
they raise
um
funds for the
yeah,
flood victims, right?
right. Right, and they did it at I forget, it was like Appalachian Wireless Arena or something in Eastern Kentucky, and that's when the whole story of the coal miner that I think his name is Michael,
Hmm.
that Cal invited to Rupp for a game, and he got to be the Y and everything. That's
Yeah,
where
that
all
was
that
cool.
originated. So that was cool that all those people got to go to the game, and now all these people that can't come to a game in Rupp, or maybe it's hard for them to get to Lexington. Like now, taking this blue white game to different parts of the state, Caden, I actually think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's on October 21st, so it's uh next Saturday. That's what that is. So yeah, I
Okay,
was about
next
to say
Saturday.
being this weekend, that seemed like an odd decision, but
It
that
seemed
makes more
like,
sense.
yeah.
And with
Okay,
that
yeah,
being said, I agree with you. I like how they're doing it different places. It makes
yeah.
kind of makes more sense.
No, yeah, I think so too. Um, So, uh, let's talk a little basketball. We got a lot of basketball news to get to today, and the biggest of which is that Big Z arrived on campus
It's
today.
free.
So I think that deserves a round of applause. Yeah, Big Z is officially free. Which, Caden, I saw a picture of him next to Cal. Did you see that picture of him next to Cal?
Yeah, he's every bit of 7'2".
Dude, that dude is tall. He is Big Z in every sense of the word. You should probably call him Tall Z. Because he's
Hey, he's
tall.
not really big. He's tall. He's not big yet, but
Yeah, he's not
Brady's gonna
big.
work on that.
Dudes, yeah, Brady's gonna get him right. But Brady is, or no, Big Z he's pretty skinny. I mean, he's kind of Perry Stevenson skinny, to be honest.
Yeah, or even
Yeah,
Anthony Davis when he was at UK.
yeah. Josh is, yeah, now free Doug next. Yeah, speaking of YouTube, that's a funny video on our YouTube channel. So is that so? Um, But yes, he is every bit of 7'2". But so that's happening. I feel great about that.
Yeah, we need him, by
Um,
the way, because did you see that they're saying like 4 to
well,
5 weeks at least for
that's what I'm getting at.
Uganda and and Bradshaw.
That's what I'm getting
Could be
at.
7. Could be 7 or 8.
Well, one step forward, 3 steps back. is the theme of Kentucky athletics. It seems like. Um. So yeah. So let's get into that a little bit. Um. So I'm all excited about Big Z. And I'm like, okay, everything's awesome. Big Blue Manus is this week. Like, let's go. I'm feeling good about Kentucky basketball. Then I get this message from ESPN saying Aaron Bradshaw and Ugana Onyenso are expected to be out several weeks into the season. And then Cal came out. I don't know if you heard this, Caden, but Cal came out and said, well, we're going to be different and we're going to look different when we get Ugana and Bradshaw back in December. I was like, hold up, December? And then Seth Greenberg, apparently, which Pro Day was yesterday. I didn't even know that was a thing. It had already happened. Like, I got a text from Cody saying a dude turned his ankle, which that's another thing. A dude Fierro turned his ankle at Pro Day. And I was like, wait, what? How did he turn his ankle and at what Pro Day? Like, what, when is this happening? So I didn't even know that was a thing. But apparently Pro Day happened, and apparently we got more people hurt. So that's great too.
Yeah, I don't know when Adu's going to be back, but I mean, we need him too, because I feel like he was a really great player for us last year. And I thought he got a lot better this year too, and more confident. So we need him back. But I don't even know, like, is Big Z going to play immediately? I don't even know if he's going to play him.
He's going to have to. Who else is?
Who's going to play tomorrow?
Well, that's it. Apparently, we're doing 4-on-4 tomorrow because we don't have enough players. That's what Cal said. Apparently, we're doing 4-on-4.
I'm looking at the roster right now, Coleman. I see Brennan Canada. I see Grant Derbyshire.
I know.
I see Joey Hart, Walker Horn.
That's what they're for, right?
Audience.
Okay, let's talk about Joey Hart for a minute. Joey Hart looks about like us, Caden. Did we miss our time? How do we not play? I saw Joey Hart standing next to Aaron Bradshaw. It looked like a middle schooler standing next to like Dwight Howard.
Joey's 6'5". Are you thinking of someone else?
No, Joe.
Kareem's 5'8".
Bradshaw is like 8. Yeah, well, Kareem is. Yeah. Did you see that video on Brady's Instagram the other day of Kareem jumping over his head? Oh, you don't have Instagram?
No, I did. He posted on his story on Facebook.
So he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was entertaining. I guess when you're that short, you can jump over him. But
Brady's
yeah,
Caden, too. Yeah.
This whole thing and these injuries, man. I mean, what could possibly, that's my thing, is what could possibly be their injury? Because they've been hurt since August, to the point that they could be hurt into SEC play. Like, how bad could it be? Like, this just is not adding up. Unless they tore their whatever. Right?
What?
Unless they tore their, I was going to say tore their ACL, but then they would be out for the year, I guess. That's not what Cody says. Yeah. It's tore something else. Yeah.
So 4-on-4 on Friday, man. I don't know. Has that ever happened at Big Blue Madness? Have we ever not had enough players to play?
I don't think. Well, I mean, do we technically have enough players to play if we play the walk-ons?
Quote unquote, because it's going to be just them shooting 40-footers, which is fine.
Well, that's
I don't really blame them, but I like them to put on a show for the fans at least. It's probably going to be Aaron Bradshaw throwing down, or not Aaron Bradshaw, but Justin Edwards throwing down dunks or something for 2 hours. So I mean, that'll be fun. But
so let's talk about Big Blue Madness. Would you agree that it sucked the past few years?
Yes.
So why? Like, what about it? Because I don't like it either. I used to. Didn't Big Blue Madness used to be a lot better than what it is right now?
It used to be. You couldn't wait. Like, I mean, this is basically Christmas Eve, the Thursday before. Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's like Christmas Eve.
Remember the John Wall Big Blue Madness?
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
well, do you think it's because we were younger and we just had that twinkle in our eye and we were we were just ignorantly blissful, or do you think it was actually better?
it was better. I mean,
So what about it was better? Like, because I can't explain it, and I wish I could. Like, what about Big Blue Madness was better back then?
there was so much more excitement around the program. You didn't have NIL ruining everything. I mean, we didn't hear all these. We didn't have mysterious injuries all the time.
Right.
It. I don't know why. It's like things are just different these days.
The
The stands were actually packed back then.
the moment that Big Blue Madness got, well, really the moment that Kentucky basketball was cool again was the moment John Wall came out and did the whole John Wall dance. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the moment that everything changed.
When is the moment
Um,
that it got worse, you think, after that?
um, well, everybody used to love Cal's little speech that he came out and do, like the state of the program.
Yeah.
But I don't
Where
think,
he basically says we're gonna go destroy everyone this year.
yeah. Well, I think once we stopped doing that, and he came out and said like he would still do the state of the program, and then we would like lose to Kansas State or whoever in the say. Who did
St.
we lose
Peter's
to? Didn't we lose to? Yeah, we did lose to Kansas State when PJ Washington and when Quade Green took that stupid
in the
shot from
corner.
mid court. Yeah, remember that? That was Kansas State too, wasn't it? So Kansas State owns us in the tournament, basically, right?
Yeah.
Um, so and then Cal would still come out and say, "This is the best program in college," and we're like, "Yeah, man, just go do it. Like, stop talking about
I
it,
think the
kind
last
of thing."
time we were, like, great was I keep going back to De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, and Bam. For some reason, after that year, it seemed like everything changed.
I think that's the year. I don't know about Big Blue Madness, maybe, but Claude says it was the COVID year. But I think you're right. Everything changed after Luke May hit that shot. It is basically when everything
Yeah, and we ended
changed,
up on the
right?
floor basically crying in my apartment. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I
True
yeah,
story.
I was crying. Yeah. It's like Morgan said, I am crying. Um so yeah.
He also said
Um
that's a good blow.
that's a good
Maybe
yeah,
my
well,
favorite quote.
it was a good
What
blow.
episode was
Um
that?
uh
We can have
well, it
him
was
on
like
again too.
that was like episode 10 or
That
something.
was a while
That was
back.
like that was like really early on. Um but some good news from Kentucky basketball is we're now the winningest program in the history of college basketball again. We can say that again because Kansas screwed up. Breaking news.
Shocker.
Yeah, shocker. And I was talking to Caden about this last night. Isn't it kind of funny that that when Kansas passed us, everybody was sort of like, it's okay. They'll do something and get some wins vacated, and
I
then
was
we'll be
sure
there.
they were gonna get it taken.
And then it happened. I mean, that's what's hilarious. Everybody was we all were like, well, it's Kansas. They'll do something. They'll get wins taken away. They'll get wins
They'll be in their
vacated, and then
boom
we'll
they'll be
jump
in their
back
boom
up.
boom room, and, they'll
Yeah,
screw
it
something
was.
up with Snoop Dogg.
It wasn't even that. Well, we'll catch up with Kansas. It wasn't even that. It was well, they'll screw something up and get wins taken away. Was like the more sure thing to happen, and that sure enough, that's what happened. So they did the whole thing on their Twitter account. They took off the winningest college basketball program of all time thing, and they had to take that off, and that was entertaining.
How
So
was it not
so we're back
taken
on
the
top.
moment the boom boom room came out?
Well, the boom boom room isn't necessarily uh basketball, right? It's just all Kansas students, right? I think.
Oh, is it?
Um
I
yeah.
bet the basketball
So
players participated.
so what was oh yeah, I'm sure. Um I'm sure that happened, but I'm sure that that kind of stuff goes on, right? I mean, like everywhere. Like,
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sure it happens in
you
UK
can't
too. I just like
you
making
can't
fun of
tell
Kansas
me.
for it.
Oh yeah,
Kansas
well,
just dumb enough to let it get out.
yeah, they are. But how so what was the do you even know what the violation was from Kansas? Do we even know, like, what actually happened?
It was a player. It was one particular player who played the 15 games, and he wasn't supposed to.
Um, well, they I mean, at least we didn't have that problem with, like, Shaden Sharp or something 'cause he didn't play, so that doesn't
Could be
matter,
why he didn't
right?
play.
I mean, it could be a blessing in disguise. I mean, what if Shaden had
Right?
played and we had a bunch of I mean, there weren't that many wins to vacate, but, you
Just
know,
the fact his high school transcript was getting changed, this probably is a blessing in disguise.
yeah, it's, right. No, I agree with that. Dude, I love this. We're actually I think this is a I just pulled up our Twitter. I think it's a Twitter Space, actually. Is that no, that's not what's happening. We're actually live on Twitter. But look at that. This is fancy. We're live on Twitter and Facebook and everything else. I mean, I think this is cool.
I wish
So
we could see how many people are watching this on. I mean, we can probably go back and see
yeah, we can
after the
probably
show,
get
but
get the stats, watch the film.
I wonder if the top left. Oh, if you hover over the top left with the number, you can see who's how many are watching on each. That's cool.
On each thing. Oh, you can? Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's pretty cool. Oh, I do see that here. Yeah. Like I do Theoro. Um there. Nice.
You gonna see it.
Yes. So did you hear about this house? Calipari's neighbor posted their house on Zillow and they trolled Calipari in the description of the house.
Yeah,
Matt
didn't he, like,
Jones put that.
not give their mower back or something?
There was their weed eater. Yeah, it said this house is close enough to John Calipari that he can ask to borrow your weed eater, but apparently not close enough that he'll bring it back. Which is like, if that happened, like that's a pretty good that's a good blow, as Morgan would say there.
He must have
But
really been hurting for money that month or something.
well, so I just want to play through what is the scenario that John Calipari would come to your door and ask to borrow your weed eater.
They
Like
probably just didn't like each other, is the only thing I can come up with.
the the neighbor and Cal didn't
Oh,
like
I
each other.
mean, not giving it back. I don't
Oh,
know
not giving
about,
it back.
you know,
Okay,
maybe something happened to his mower one day or his weed eater, and he just didn't feel like going and getting a new one.
but
I don't know.
if I'm John Calipari, I'm making $26,000 a day. I'm I'm going to Lowe's and getting a weed eater.
Yeah, you could have it
Like
delivered.
like I don't really understand, like, why people that make that much money participate in normal human middle class activities, like going to your neighbor and asking to borrow their weed eater. I mean, imagine if I don't know, like who's a famous rich person? Um, Donald Trump. Let imagine if Donald Trump knocked on your door and asked to borrow your weed eater. Like what would go through your mind at that point? It's like, why is Donald Trump? It wouldn't. I mean, I would let him borrow my weed eater, but I wouldn't understand why he was asking. Is
Yeah,
the thing.
but I bet Cal's neighbor. I mean, he probably didn't make 9 million a year, but he probably also wasn't
Probably
hurting
done.
for money. I'm sure he was
Probably
like
wasn't.
all those houses on that road. I'm sure they're all very upper class.
And do you think
My
John
question is, why would
Calipari?
Cal live there in the first place?
Well, hey, it's a nice area. I'd live there if I had $9 million. But do you think John Calipari's out back uh, actually doing the weed eating? Like I,
No.
I would think he has guys for that
Yeah,
or something.
for sure.
Uh, so so again, why is Cal asking for his neighbor's weed eater? I mean, that I think that's really funny. So um, anyway, uh, well, let's go ahead and open it up. By the way, for calls, we'll go ahead and throw that number on the screen 502-234-1504. Give us a shout. Tell us your thoughts on Big Z being eligible. Tell us why you think Big Blue Mantis sucks. and what you hope to see at Big Blue Madness starting tomorrow. Caden, what do you want to see at Big Blue Madness? Like, what would make it great for you tomorrow?
We're getting a call, Coleman.
Well, to be continued. Gonna happen. So
you're on with Talkin Kentucky. Who's this?
Hello, how y'all doing?
Hey, Clyde.
What's up, Clyde? How's it going, man?
What's going on? What's going on, people?
Thanks for being here as always. Except for Maggie Davis, you missed that episode.
Yes, can't believe you missed that.
I'm looking at you, Caden.
Oh, I'm aware.
Looking at you. Yeah.
Y'all was talking about Cal's house. Yeah, actually, that whole story I actually heard about from KSR, like Matt Jones, and then we're talking about it, and that's when I actually first heard about it. And I think I might have been half paying attention to what they were talking about, half not. I didn't really get the full story, but when you guys actually explained it, it made more sense. And I was like, oh, okay. It is kind of weird. Why would John Calipari, like Coleman said, a guy making $26,000 a day, go up to his neighbor's house and say, hey, can I borrow your weed eater? Like, what? And like Kaden, like you said, you said, I'm sure the guy that was his neighbor is not hurting on money because they are upper class house. They are rich houses. They are expensive homes. So anybody living in those homes is not going to be hurting on cash money or card money or whatever.
My guess is they used to be buddies, and then something went wrong after he still had that weed eater. Maybe it was, hey, coach, hey, John, try out this awesome weed eater I got.
Yeah, hey, John. Morning, John. How you doing?
The best weed eater in the world.
Well, the reason he put that out is I think Matt Jones was actually looking at that house to live in, which the house costs like $800,000. So and Matt's like, it's pretty nice. I think I could live there. It's like, yeah, Matt. Like, wish we could.
Can you imagine those two being neighbors?
Well, that's it. That's the thing. You think they would give each other's weed eaters back?
I don't think Matt Jones has a weed eater.
I don't think Matt Jones knows what a weed eater is. No. So,
how much do y'all think Matt Jones makes?
More than us.
you
more than a Patreon?
Do y'all really think he's that? Do y'all think he's that loaded?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Well, let me say that I think he makes somewhere between what we make and what Cal makes.
That really gets it close there, I guess.
Yeah.
So what you guys are saying that you think he makes good money to live in a house like that?
Probably.
I think he does. Yeah.
ASR, all his books.
What about Drew Franklin and Ryan Lemon and Shannon? Do you think they make a pretty good pocket to live in those houses that they live in?
I don't think they make as much as Matt, but they probably.
I know Drew and Ryan live out in Hamburg, where Frederick Douglass is, because I remember Drew saying when he would wake up in the morning, the football team would be practicing, and he can hear them playing rap music from his house at the football team. They were practicing in the morning. So yeah. I know Drew lives over there, and I think Ryan does too.
Dude, Clyde's a KSR connoisseur.
He is. Well, I mean,
loyal. Really, you're loyal, Clyde. You're loyal to all the.
Yeah, Clyde's just loyal in general. I feel like he's a loyal person.
But Clyde, what's your guess on this football game?
I try to keep up with everything, and I try to let y'all know as much information as I know of, and so you all can keep up to date. And I just try my best. That's all I do. I try my best for you guys.
Hey, that's all we can do. We can just try our best each day. Yeah.
But you were gonna ask me something, Kaden. What was you gonna ask me?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on either Big Blue Madness or this football game on Saturday?
I'm excited for Big Blue Madness because I'm going to it.
And, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm going to Big Blue Madness. I got section 19, the bottom arena, but I'm on row X, and my seat's seat 13, and his seat is seat 14. Y'all's in seat, so we'll be right there. And to be honest, I'm gonna be real with you about the football team. we don't win Saturday, you're possibly looking at a 6-5 season or a 5-7 season. I've seen it many times. Yeah. I know you have, Caden. I know Josh has, and I know Coleman has. We've all seen it. If we don't win Saturday, expect that to happen. Don't expect big things. Don't expect more good things to happen if we lose Saturday, because, I mean, this is make it or break it for Kentucky football this year. We got to win Saturday if we want to do something big. But
yeah, I think it is make it or break it. It's.
I think
oh damn! Sound like Caden, man.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm the optimistic one right now, saying 8-4. Dang.
Yeah.
No, I don't say 8-4 because I know what happens to us every single time a bye week happens, and if we lose Saturday, I don't think that will be any different. I think we'll lose if we don't win Saturday. You might as well just head over to basketball season. I'm just giving y'all a fair warning.
Well, Clyde, before we let you go, what do you have a score prediction for Saturday?
Missouri 31, Kentucky 28.
Damn. Okay.
That's a high scoring game for Missouri.
No, Missouri's offense is good.
Missouri,
that's why.
Hey, Missouri was scoring good with LSU.
Are they?
Huh. Yeah. Don't you know anything about football, Caden?
They're turning corners over there. Then they got out of the locker.
Hey, Eli Jerkwich, aka Adam Webb, he's turned the corner over there in Missouri. I'm telling you, like, they got a good football team. Don't be surprised if we lose Saturday. That's all I'm saying. Just don't be surprised.
Well, Clyde, thanks for calling in, and thanks for
absolutely.
Thanks for being realistic with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, I got you back in. I still owe you a pizza, by the way.
Oh no, you don't have to do that. But let's get together next time we're all in Lexington.
You can buy them a pork chop at Patty's.
Yeah, pork chop at Patty's.
What?
Yeah,
Coleman said pork chop at Patty's. So that'll work.
Okay, we'll go there and I'll buy your food. Don't worry about it.
All right, I'll catch you later, Clark.
Yes, sir.
Man, need to lose to Georgia more often.
I felt like he was being serious.
Yeah. Well, see, he sounded.
I don't think Clyde kid's around.
To me. No, I don't think he does either. He's gonna buy you a pork chop.
Looking at you, Caden.
I'm looking at you too, Maggie.
Yeah.
Coleman, what did you say about? You said make a comment about Missouri. I don't think I caught it.
I don't think I did. I sent you a comment about Missouri.
No, you said something about Missouri while Clyde was talking.
They're good offensively. they're gonna.
No, it was after I talked about the locker. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Well, I think they're gonna beat us. is the thing. If they beat, I don't really think we're gonna lose, but if we lose, I think it's gonna be through the air. Like I think their secondary, or our secondary, is going to get tested by their receivers for sure. But 502-234-1504. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a shout. Yeah. Give us a call. So back to Big Blue Madness. What we were talking about before Clyde called. What's going to make Big Blue Madness not suck? Like what do we need to do to? What needs to happen?
Well, more than 8 players playing, number one.
That would be good. Yes. Agreed.
NIL disappearing, number 2.
So do you think NIL is ruining college athletics as much as everybody is? See, I do too. I think this whole it's basically turned into just buying players.
Yep.
I mean, Mark Stoops is right. That's the other thing about Mark Stoops' comments is Caden. He said Georgia's bought some pretty good players, but is he wrong?
Isn't that what Saban said? Is this the same kind of thing?
Well,
he said that about Texas A&M, right?
I mean, is he wrong,
or was it the other way around? I couldn't remember.
No, it was A&M. Jimbo Fisher said it about Nick Saban.
About Saban. Okay, yeah.
Y'all know what he does, how he does it? Like that. That's what Jimbo said. Yeah.
Oh, you're preparing for I'm not gonna ruin it.
No. I think we should. You know, we're already spilling everything that we're doing. I mean, I think we should do. I think we should do that. Caden thinks that I can do good impressions, so he thinks that we should incorporate some
humor,
some
as
some
they
humor,
say.
as they say. But yeah, they Caden thinks that we should do some impressions on this show of coaches and other famous people. So
the question is, of our viewers, who would be okay with Coleman doing an impression of you?
Yeah, I could impersonate our callers if anybody would like to hear that. I could do. I could even read your comments in your own voice if you would like. You know,
We got another call, Coleman.
unless that would offend anybody. All right, getting the call.
It's Talking to Kentucky. Who's this? I can't even say our name.
Hey, this is Josh. What's going on?
What's
Not
up,
much,
Josh?
Josh, how's it going?
Good, man. Out working to make some money tonight.
Yeah, you're on that DoorDash, aren't you? You're on that DoorDash, aren't you?
200 today.
200, man.
So that's good. Yep. Monday and Tuesday was 107 total. It was bad days, but today's a better day. So I don't know if you've seen my comments, Mr. Caden, but I want to apologize to you because you were right.
You're gonna get Brad started again.
I overhyped everybody. I got everybody all excited about Georgia, and we got our butt whooped. So
no, but I can appreciate the optimism from everyone.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
we be hopeful. I was probably bringing everyone down, even though I was being realistic. But I enjoyed all the optimism.
You was the only one that was being realistic.
Yep.
We were all hoping for a win, but like, you know, Coleman said after the first. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. After Coleman said after the first drive, I mean, I too, I was like, oh damn, it's over. I mean, we just could not hold them. I mean, they just marched right down the field and just made us look like we was a JV squad.
Yeah, and Coleman, I don't know about you, but their quarterback, it felt like he had all the time in the world to get his passes off.
He did. Yeah, and he looked like a stereotype. If you look up frat boy in the dictionary, is a picture of Georgia's quarterback. He has a very punchable face, and that just made it worse. So.
And what's that guy that was open every time, and there was nobody around him for 10 yards?
Brock Bowers.
Oh, yeah, I was like, dude, I was so sick. I was like, man, really?
Should probably cover the best. Should probably cover the best college football player in the country. You know, that just might be a good idea. You know,
yeah, that's like giving Steph Curry 30 feet to shoot.
Yeah,
but
you got.
I mean, I was like, you think if that's the best guy, the game plan from Brad White should have said, we're going to double coverage this guy. We're going to leave somebody else open that's not as good, and we're going to double team this dude. Brad White, I'm telling you, and I said this last time I called in, if this was his moment to make, try to get to the next level from a D coordinator to the head coach, well, he failed miserably.
Well, you're right, which, I mean, it could be a good thing that we get to keep Brad White. I mean, maybe. He's going to be head coach one of these days, but, maybe a performance like this keeps him at Kentucky another year, which, could be a good trade-off depending on how you think.
I don't know. I've got a lot of static. I don't know if I got a bad connection or what's going on. But anyway, I was glad Big Z's on campus. Dude needs to gain some weight. He's tall as a rail.
Looks like a rail.
And
that was my first thought, man. The telephone pole. But he can speak him some real good English.
Okay, here's what would make Big Blue Madness great. I want Big Z to come down from a rope,
from monologue.
Holding a damn dictionary. I want Big Z come down holding a dictionary, and I want him to like be reciting the Emancipation Proclamation or something, like some famous speech.
I don't know if I could recite that.
Oh, I couldn't either, but it isn't the by the people for the people thing. Is that what that
Something
is?
like that.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyway, all
The
right.
bad
Josh was talking about
Americans. Yeah, what
Josh
were you
was
saying,
talking about
Josh?
Missouri. Yeah.
Missouri sucking. Or,
Yeah, I mean, according to everybody, that Missouri secondary is 10 times worse than ours. So if that's the case,
That's
Larry
pretty
better
bad.
throw that damn ball for 300 yards this weekend.
Well, he can throw it. He just can't hit the receivers. We like Cal says, we need don't just need shooters, we need makers. So, dude, that Tavion Robinson
Do you
throw.
guys honestly think it's because he got hurt? He's not 100%, and they're not telling us the truth about how his recovery process. Because I mean, you look at the kid at NC State, and you're like, "Good God, he's a gunslinger! What the heck happened?" And I'm not understanding how he went from NC State. It reminds me of white kid that was shooting threes at Wisconsin like there's nothing. Then he comes to Kentucky and can't hit the broadside of a barn.
CJ Frederick, yeah,
those,
he was at Iowa, yeah, but I know what.
CJ
Yes,
Frederick.
you're right.
Yeah,
Yep, you're exactly right.
We get CJ. He can't hit the broadside of a barn. And you're like, well, what happened? And then
We figure out he was injured. Yeah.
Larry's the same way. You're like, wait a minute, this dude threw for like 3,000 yards at NC State or something like that. I'm like, where at?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's the injury, to be honest with you, because that wouldn't explain how he's able to throw some really good passes. I think it's in his head. And you notice whenever we've gone tempo, which hasn't been very much, but we've sort of gone faster pace, like against Vanderbilt. That first drive against Vanderbilt, he looked great. We were able to just zoom, zoom, zoom because he didn't have time to think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm just not getting it. I'm not getting why he's not doing more. And this is my thing. If they get Larry out there this weekend and he can't hit the targets, then I'm not saying pull Larry out, but just run Ray until Missouri gets tired. Then we can start throwing again. So I would just start running Ray Davis at the beginning of the game and wear down the defense, and then I would go to center.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have to ride or die with Leary, I feel like, because like I've seen Kyra Sharon play in a game, in 2 games actually, and it hasn't been very good. I don't know, this Destin Wade kid, apparently the coaching staff, well, I know this for a fact, the coaching staff is a whole package for Destin Wade, the quarterback, and we haven't seen that yet, but that's a thing that we might see here in the near future. Is you might see Destin Wade playing a little quarterback, just a few drives or even a few snaps here and there, alternating with Leary. I wouldn't be surprised if we even see that some this weekend. So,
yeah, I just hope we come out and we beat Missouri. I don't want this to be one of these deals like we just keep on, right back to the way it was. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Kentucky football is one of my buddy back in the day told me. He's like, never put your heart in Kentucky because it always get burned. And I hope we don't get burned, because I mean, can you imagine all this hype, all this excitement, and then we crap the bed and we finish 5-6 for the year or some craziness like that.
Yeah, that would be really disappointing. That would be an understatement. I feel like disappointing would be an understatement. So,
Josh, before we let you go, what's your final score for Saturday?
Oh man, I don't even want to predict scores, to be honest with you, but 20.
I think you should.
17 Cats.
20 what to 17?
27-17.
27-17.
So I'll be the we'll give our scores. We'll give our score predictions at the end. So yeah, Well,
Yeah,
thanks for calling in, Josh. We appreciate your continued support. And hey, let me say this before Josh gets off the phone. That this, our ability to stream to different platforms and our ability to have these kind of cool graphics and to do more stuff is only made possible by the support of our viewers. So it's like PBS when you were little, they said that this is made possible from viewers like you. Well, that's the case here. So thank you for that, Josh and Clyde and everybody.
Giving you guys, thank you, man. I enjoy giving you guys $10 a month. It's well worth it because you guys are just growing and getting bigger and better and better. And I mean what I say, that I love y'all's show, and it's just so entertaining, and we have a good time. Nobody goes away mad, really. Unlike Matt Jones' show, everybody goes away mad. So,
well, speaking of impressions, when Josh, was saying earlier, I forget what happened earlier with Josh on the phone. Did he say like I can't hear you all or something like that, or we were losing them or something like that?
Oh, yeah, his signal I think is going a little in and out.
Or his signal was going in and out. Yeah. So Matt wouldn't have let him do that.
Yeah, Matt would have cut you off.
Anyway, yeah, Matt would have been like, okay, well, you gotta, yeah. So anyway,
Matt's very good at what he does, though. I just want to make that clear. But yeah, it's funny to joke around about. But Josh, thanks for everything, and we'll let you go.
All right, appreciate you guys.
Bye.
Go Cats. Yeah, he said he did something earlier. I thought, well, man, Matt would have butted right in. I can't remember what it was, but it was something. So, and Clyde says, "Love you all" in the comments here. So yeah, we mean that. Yeah, thank you for your support and everything.
I can't hear you if your phone's not working, Josh.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Can't make your point if you don't talk. Yeah, so 502-234-1504. Give us a shout. We'd love to hear from you, especially you never called before. Yeah. So let's get into some predictions for this weekend, since heck, I think Caden should do all the predictions because he's a new football expert on the show. So I think he should just He should just go for it. Yeah, I think. I shouldn't even give any predictions, honestly. So yeah, let's get into some of these. Let's start with games tomorrow. We've got Tulane, Memphis. We got Fresno State, Utah State. We got some Stanford, Colorado. I don't really feel like picking any of those, so we won't do that. But I guess I should say, Caden, Virginia finally won a game. They beat William and Mary. So so that means I guess I have to do our pumpkin spice Coors Light thing at some point. So I will do that. So last year's mayonnaise and coffee, I feel like pumpkin spice Coors Light is a little bit more tolerable than mayonnaise coffee. It'll be a little less bitter.
Hey,
I feel like
I'll even buy your pumpkin spice if you want me to. I'll send it to you.
Hey, that's very nice of you to do. Man, Vanderbilt gets Georgia this week.
Go to Starbucks and say, "Hey, can I get a cup of pumpkin spice?" They probably say, "All right, $30."
Yeah, they probably would. Yeah. Well, you can't get it from Starbucks because we're not Starbucks people necessarily on the show. But yeah, Georgia at Vanderbilt. No sense in picking that game. Indiana, Michigan, Ohio State, Purdue, Syracuse. Yeah, these are all pretty bad games. Not a lot of great games on the schedule. Well, let's go Texas A&M at Tennessee. Okay, that's a decent game. Texas A&M at Tennessee. It's the 3:30 game on CBS. Tennessee's a 3-point favorite. Caden, who you got in this one?
Tennessee.
Yeah,
by like 10.
I think only because it's home. I think Tennessee wins this one. So I'll roll with Tennessee there as well. there's a lot of bad games this week, so we should probably just pick some bad games and be funny about it. Probably. This one is bad, but it's at least decent. Florida at South Carolina. I think Florida. I think Florida is really bad.
Yeah, but didn't they beat Tennessee?
Yeah, I still think they're bad. And since it's away too, Florida's very clearly not played well away from home. So I'm probably, even though they're SEC doormat, I'm probably going to go South Carolina on that one.
Florida's bad, but I don't think they're South Carolina bad, so I'm gonna go with Florida.
All right. BYU TCU got the Mormons and the Christians. I'll go with I'll take the Christians in this one.
Same.
All right. Louisville at Pitt. Louisville is 6-0, but they're playing at Pitt, who's only 1-4. Louisville's undefeated and just knocked off Notre Dame. But Caden, could this be the pitfall, no pun intended, of the Louisville Cardinals?
Go Cards. First time in my life I said that.
I can't ever pick Louisville, so I'll go with Pitt there.
You know what? I'm feeling generous. I'll pick Louisville.
Well, that's good.
I like Kenny Payne.
I don't have a problem with Kenny Payne. Auburn at LSU. Since it's at LSU, I'll probably go LSU in this Tiger fight.
Yeah, LSU.
USC at Notre Dame. USC's undefeated. They're 6-0, but they're also in the Pac-12, so that doesn't really mean much. Notre Dame just lost to Louisville, but they're playing at home, and I feel like they're Notre Dame at home magic is a thing. So I think USC might take their first loss on this one.
I'll stick with USC.
USC. I have a friend that played for USC that played football for USC. We need to get on the show. I feel like that'd be good. And then UCLA at Oregon State. Top 25 matchup there. Oregon State is a 3.5 point favorite.
I'll pick the upset this time. UCLA.
You know what? I'm feeling that too. I'm feeling the basketball blue bloods. Which, let's get into two of our basketball blue blood matchups this year. Miami at North Carolina. North Carolina's undefeated. They're a 3.5 point favorite over the Canes, but it's a top 25 matchup. I'm probably going to go with North Carolina here. And Caden, did you know that the quarterback for North Carolina is Luke May's brother, Drake May?
Of course he is.
It really is.
He's going to play up for the basketball team too.
Yeah, I can't make that up. He literally
Wouldn't
is.
Surprise me. He's probably a walk-on for the basketball team too.
And he's probably going to hit a shot.
What's up with Duke and North Carolina having like 10 sets of brothers that go to their school over like the span of 20 years?
I feel like that is.
You notice that?
Yeah, I feel like that is a thing. Like these twins that might flip to Kentucky actually, but didn't their dad go to Duke? The Boozer,
Boozer
yeah.
I swear, there's been players like at North Carolina or Duke that there's been like 4 different brothers. You just keep hearing their names. It's like they never leave.
Well, I mean, Kentucky, I guess we got Reed Shepherd, so I guess that's a thing.
Yeah, but that's like the only one, right? And if you want to count Wagner, which his dad wasn't at Kentucky, but
do we have Saul Smith?
Yeah, but his dad was the coach. Well, I guess that counts though.
Yeah, we could do Michaela Epps played women's basketball. So, yeah.
Yeah, but that's normal. One in like different sports, but with North Carolina Duke, it's like always men's basketball. I feel like.
Well,
maybe I'm just making that up, but
that's true.
But yeah, I'm picking North Carolina.
So, yeah, I probably will too. So, Big Blue Madness tomorrow. What's his face is going to recite some famous speeches and carry a dictionary in with him. Big Z. In all honesty, I feel like Big Z is gonna. I feel like the crowd's gonna go
Go
nuts when Big
crazy.
Z comes
Yeah.
out. I
He
feel
needs to
like
do
I
something
know.
cool. Remember when Enes Kanter was like the Undertaker or whatever?
Yes. Yeah, that was awesome. I feel like
And
Big
he
Z
ended up
needs to
not
do
playing.
something. So yeah, we need to figure out what's gonna make Big Blue Madness great again. Make Big Blue Madness great again. We need to make those hats.
I
Sell
think
them.
we've kind of listed them.
Yeah.
We don't want 30-minute Coach Cal speeches.
Nope.
We
So
wanna
we
see actual gameplay.
okay. So far, neither of
I
those
don't
are
wanna
probably
see
gonna
no
happen.
defense. Like, I wanna see something that resembles defense.
Yeah, none of that's gonna happen. Um, but and then what guests do you think any guests are gonna be there? Like big, you think like Drake's gonna show up? That was cool, right?
Probably someone like that.
When Drake came and airballed the free throw, that made Big Blue Madness cool. The John Wall thing made Big Blue Madness cool.
LeBron's been there,
Um,
right?
I think LeBron's been. So yeah, some big things like that. I did think it was cool a few years ago. They brought back some of the old players. Like they brought back Tyler Eulis, and he walked up the stairs in crutches. You remember that?
That was really cool, yeah.
That was cool. So hopefully they bring back some of that old stuff. I think that would be neat. So um,
Coleman, something big that would just I know we don't talk politics on the show, but can we get politics out of sports? That's
that would be
something
great.
major that would make it because we didn't used to have all that. Like, now it's like people are playing, and then when they're doing their interviews, that's all they talk about. So, like,
Yeah,
let's add that to the list.
yeah.
Let's watch. We're there for basketball. We're there because we love UK, and that's
It's
it.
like let's play some basketball.
Let's hoop, as Cal said. Let's
Yeah.
ball. Isn't that what he said? Then he
Ball.
dropped the mic.
Let's ball and hoop. Yes, that would be good. No, I agree with that. But so guys, yeah, thanks for tuning in. That's true. Yes. So that can't happen, Caden. I mean that can't happen. But yeah. I guess I should read that for our podcast listener. Josh Hart says Matt Jones wouldn't have a show if politics weren't in sports. So yeah, that's true. Well, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And yeah, we got this new thing going on, so it's very exciting. So we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna stream all our shows, all these platforms live. We're gonna keep at it with these fancy graphics and overlays. Gonna try to keep that going. I'm gonna keep
We got one person on YouTube watching. So
we
if
got
that's you,
somebody on
give us a
YouTube.
comment, and we want to see this little YouTube emblem by your name.
Might be me.
Actually, yeah, it was you. It's gone.
Well, I'm still watching it, so maybe I don't count.
It says 0. I guess you don't count.
Well, yeah, I don't exist.
I think I scared them. Got called out.
Yeah, let us know you're here. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, look for so we didn't want to rip off KSR, so we're not going to call them rapid reactions. So we're going to call these, that's really what they are, our little rapid reaction videos, but they're going to be called TK's Take. So our first one's gonna drop tomorrow after Big Blue Madness. So look for it on our YouTube, look for it on our look for it on Facebook and all the things. So, and be sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Like that's a big thing. We're gonna start utilizing that more. So yeah, check that out. We're gonna start doing some more little shorts and stuff too. Which, Caden, that little short I made about us beating Georgia, or the 3 things we had to do to beat Georgia, that's gotten that has like 700 views. And here's how I know we're starting to take off, because some Georgia fans were trolling me on that, saying, "Go Dogs, go Dogs!" Right, So, so yeah. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to do. Yeah, I'll have to do some of those too. Like, obviously, I'll do it. Obviously for the basketball stuff. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I'd love to get some Kansas trolls in there or something.
Oh, we're gonna start getting it out there. So, yeah, guys. So, do we have a link to our support/Patreon that we can throw in here. We'll kind of give that one more talk through before we leave here. So reminder, guys, Patreon for just $1 a month. You can be a friend of the show. You can be a white tier supporter, and we'll give you a shout out on the show, and we'll love you forever if you give us $1 a month. $10 a month, you get a shout out on the show, and you get a mug and a sticker. $25, and you will get to be a guest with us on an episode for a whole episode. And you get the mug, you get the sticker, and you get a long sleeve shirt. So
who knows? You might be able to do a bracket with us.
Doesn't really get much better than that for sure. So yeah, talkingkentucky.wordpress.com/support. Follow that, and you can find the link to our Patreon on there. And you could, if you feel so inclined, you can support us on there. And don't forget, like the stars we were talking about down here in the corner on our overlay, subscribe and rate us 5 stars, because that really does help us grow our show. So so thank you guys.
We really enjoy reading those reviews too. It's really cool to see.
We do. Yeah. So review us too. Yeah, that would be great. So well, go Cats beat Missouri. We'll be back on, by the way, Brad and I will be here for the post game show against Missouri, hopefully talking about a big win. Because as we talked about, it's an important game. So, what are we calling this episode, Caden? Just talking adjustments,
talking upgrade,
talking upgrade, talking premium,
talking level up,
talking level up. That's got a couple different meanings we could talk about. Yeah, I mean, talking adjustments,
talking all access,
talking Wildcat.
Wildcat tier? Talking Wildcat tier? I don't know.
Talking pony up. Could be that. I mean, we did pony up. We could do talking pony up. I think that'd be a good one. Talking beat Georgia. Talking please beat Mizzou. I'm partial to
reality.
Pony up.
That's a good one. Mom said earlier talking realistic.
I mean, it is reality that we're talking about, but see, I like pony up because, like Mark Stoops said to pony up, but then we're also ponying up as well. You know, we did pony up. We're ponying up the show. You know what I mean?
Oh, talking greatest show on earth. That might get some clicks.
That's not bad. Talking greatest show on earth. Greatest show on earth. What did we say was the greatest show on earth? I mean, we said we were, but then we did Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah, in Madisonville.
Oh, Madisonville's the greatest town on earth.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that. That's not bad. Do we want to do that?
Sure.
Talking greatest show on earth. That's going to be one of our longer titles that we've done. The talking greatest show on earth is not
GSOE bad. Greatest, or talking GSOE. then they'd have to watch the episode to know what we're talking about.
To know what we're talking about. Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah. Talking greatest show on earth. I'm cool with that. If you are, Caden. So
let's do it.
Well, thank you guys for checking us out. For Coleman Scott, for Caden Holmes, and for the greatest show on earth, Talking Kentucky. This has been episode number 72 of Talking Kentucky, and we'll see you tomorrow night for a rapid reaction / TK's take. Be on the lookout for that, and then we'll see you for the post-game show on Saturday.
Yeah, subscribe to that YouTube so you see that.
Yes, be sure you are subscribed to that YouTube. Absolutely. So, no one greater like Caden Sat, right? Greatest show on earth.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time. Go Cats.